What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're at Fujikura's new headquarters up here in Carlsbad. What are we doing today?
Yeah, Callaway was kind enough to send us some great epic 3-woods flash style, and Marshall's building out a couple different shafts that we're going to throw in there. We're going to test them out here, and then we're going to take it to Shadow Ridge and go play a quick 9 holes with these boys.
And we're going to be comparing the 3-woods to the ones that we're currently playing. We're both using the Rogue 3-woods with Fujikura shafts, so I'm excited to try out some new shafts, and yeah, should be another fun video for you guys.
Yeah, can't wait to see the numbers, and big thanks to Fujikura and Marshall for putting all this together.
All right, so there's Coach's Gamer Rogue Sub-Zero 16 degree.
I've got the Fujikura Atmos Tour Spec 7X, and this is the blue model. Probably the best 3-wood combo I've ever had in my entire life, so it's gonna be really tough for me to get out of this one. But I did, during the Epic launch party in January, really like that 3-wood that they just came out with, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
11.4 launch, 3,500 RPMs of spin. We turned it over 642.
Yes.
Did you feel like you hit it well?
I turned it over a little too much.
Because obviously we're going to take an average, but just from what I noticed, you know, 642 it's a decent amount of draw. It's a good amount of draw. It's not overcooking it by any means,
right.
But our spin rate was 3,500 with that much, you know, movement left of the golf ball. And you know, anytime it moves left, my spin is reduced. 3,500 is kind of the high side for a 3-wood. It all depends on the type of shot that I want to hit with the 3-wood. Am I using this off the tee, or is this strictly something that I'm hitting into like a par 5 where I want it to land soft on, you know, on the green? 2,700 to 3,200 is the correct RPMs of spin that I'm looking for. But like you said, if this is a club that we're going to use to hit a par 5 and 2, then I want that a little more spin to come in a little bit steeper, so I'm going to be able to hit and hold the green. 3-woods are always tricky because it's to me it's the hardest club to hit in the bag. One, because we don't hit it all that often, and when we are required to hit it, it's like, man, when was the last time I did hit this? I mean, I go sometimes 3 rounds without even hitting a 3-wood sometimes. So I always tell people, once we find a good 3-wood, hold on to it with your life. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely good. That was 2,200 RPMs of spin. That could be a little bit low. It would be great off the tee because I'm still going to get that tumble, but if we did want to hit a par 5, that thing would come in screeching hot, and then that's off the back. So we didn't have our best center face contact on those. I could just tell because our ball speed was a little bit lower. It sounded like it skipped into the ball just a little bit, and usually that's going to create some low spin. So let's keep going. Let's get a nice average.
That's good.
I was a little concerned, because, you know, the first one, but then he told me it was a 4-wood. So the 3,500 spin I can see. This one's spinning pretty low, 22, 19, and 2,000. You know, that causes my descending angle to come in a little bit shallow, and I'm going to get a lot of tumble and a lot of rollout with it, but I could be missing just a few yards of carry. But as far as control, 3.4 right, 5.9 right, 7.9 right, 11.1 right. I mean, you could throw a blanket over those balls. I mean, it's good.
That's one of our favorite lines.
Taking the glove off, he's done, huh?
I don't know, you know, but I like the feel of that other 3-wood. I did it.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna validate that and see if it is worth, you know, making the switch. I mean, you know, as long as the performance characteristics are there, the feel is there, the sound is there that you like, and we can definitely make it work. From a control side, holy smokes, dude.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite part when he does this.
Validate the loft.
I just want to see, you know, just so I can make the proper head and loft settings on that new head. My angle is coming in at about 57 and 57.2. This thing comes in, it's just probably about a degree or 2 flat than what I would call standard. But it is a Sub-Zero product, and I always found that those always came in a little bit flatter than just the standard. About 16, 15.8, 16 degrees. Okay. See, it's about 14.2, so it's coming a little bit strong.
Okay.
Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, there is a little bit of a tolerance in the industry, and that's the beautiful thing about Quick Connect Technology, is that I have the ability to add loft or decrease loft if needed. All right, bro, you're ready. It is a little bit of a different shaft than you were using versus the Atmos Blue. Should have a little bit different feel, a little bit different launch characteristics. Spin should be relatively close to the same. We will find out. Yeah, 3,300. That's You know, launch was a little bit lower at 10.1, but my spin rate was 3,300, which works. Is that a groove low?
Yep.
The launch 10.1, that's okay. You know, it's a little bit lower, and I think that was due to the loft being just a fraction lower than what we were using, you know, versus a 16.5 versus a 15 degree. We know that the true loft, you know, was actually coming in a little bit lower. 10.1 is still a decent launch. 11.9 will work. My spin rates are in a good zone at 33.29, and even when we clipped it a groove low, that's a culprit for more spin, but you're only at 3,200. I like those spin rates a little bit better than some of the other ones that we were seeing on our road, just because it was, you know, it had a tendency to be a little bit low, causing my descending angle to come in real shallow. And yes, I was getting a lot of tumble with it, but I think there's definitely some improvement for some more carry there. I love the ball speeds, and I also noticed we were working the other one a little bit more to the left versus this one. It minimized a lot of the movement. We might not have to aim maybe as far right to play that draw. We can probably aim right down the middle, and I don't want to see a lot of movement on a golf ball. I never do. I like those side spin numbers.
Marshall's 100% right on every single thing he just said right there. He described every single shot, one groove low. I mean, the guy can basically just know exactly what's going to happen with it. So I'm assuming we're going to adjust it 1 degree up, since it is kind of coming out a little bit low, and we'll let Marshall confirm this.
I would like to see that launch angle just up just a little bit higher. I don't think it's going to increase. It should increase our spin a little bit, but it's not going to increase it off the planet to where we get those risers and we're screwed in the wind, or we're going to be losing some distance. So I would like to see that initial launch just a fraction higher.
How did the flash feel for the road?
It feels solid. It almost feels like a driver. And that's kind of the feeling that I had. The misses seem a little bit better too, and it seems like it's going to go a little further with every miss, and then when you do hit it pure, it's going to go that extra 5-10 yards that I think everybody wants.
Okay. Ooh, that sounded really solid. 10.2, look at your ball speed. That's the biggest noticeable thing that I've seen. I mean, since we've switched to this head, your ball speeds have been hotter than 148, 144, 147. I like that. I mean, that's the fastest one. This is a great launch. That's a good spin rate. Remember, 27 to 3,200 is my go zone as far as spin. You know, by adding 1 degree of loft, that will slightly shuck the face just a fraction, and then we're able to turn it over. But 213 and 276, that's just the softest draw. Carry on that last one was 259, which is the longest one of the day. You know, our overall yardages might not be as long as maybe some on the road, just because of that. Remember, that spin rate was at 2,100, so I'm getting a ton of tumble with that. But like we were talking earlier, if I'm trying to hold the green in 2, I've got no chance at 2,000 or even 1,900 RPMs of spin. At 28 and 29, that's perfect. And anytime we catch it off the toe, that gear effect is amplified a little bit. It should fall back a little bit more to the left. Spin
286.
Spin should be reduced just a fraction, which it was every time we hit it on the toe at 2,500. Let me get rid of that drop kick that we hit. Ball speed 155, 11.8 launch. Remember the toe, which caused a little bit more left movement, which is going to reduce my spin, but 2,500 I can get away with. These 1,900s and 2,000s up at the top, I can't get away with that. 266 carry, I mean, that's going to be hard to beat, but I got a couple other shaft options there.
Just in case.
Great, I like this setting a lot. Feels right. I think I need that +1 and be around that 15-16 degree 3-wood range. I could even mess around with it and maybe add 2. I feel like I have to swing it a little harder though.
Okay. 157.1, that was our fastest ball speed yet. 11 degree launch, 2,600 spin. You know, 2,600 is getting just a fraction low, but remember we did turn that one over just a little bit more than that last shaft that we're hitting, which will reduce that spin a little bit. Carry was up at 266.
Caught that a little off the heel too. That one hit good.
Wow, 158 ball speed, 158.7, 10.5, 2,900.
Picked up 10 miles an hour on the ball speed.
I feel like I have to swing this shaft a little harder, and when I do it, you know, it fits perfectly in the groove, and the numbers are great. It looks like. I'll let Marshall.
Our ball speeds are the fastest with the Ventus right now. Launches are in a good zone. My spin rates are great. We do have a fraction more movement left. And you know, like you said, that could be because due to the sensation of the shaft feeling maybe a little bit more stout, it gives us the perception that we need to work a little bit harder, and when we do, we tend to release it a little bit more. Some players like that feeling because it gives them the, you know, that sensation that they can go after as hard as they want. It's pretty good. I don't know if I would change too much from that. I would say if I would put you on back at the neutral setting, I might be able to take some of that, just a fraction of that left out of play, but then my spin rate might come down a little bit too low. This is by far your longest carry at 265 on average. I felt like we had a little bit more control with the Evo.
Yeah, and I kind of like the feel better, but the performance of the Ventus is second to none.
So this is, I put you in the Ventus MH, which is it's a proto MH that's been out on tour for a little while. It's a little stiffer handle, a little softer in the tip section. I'm going to put you back in the stock Ventus here, which is going to give you a smoother feel in the handle and a stiffer tip. So that hopefully should give you back some of that feel you were looking for and you like.
That one felt good.
Feel-wise, what did you notice?
It just feels better. It's like not as strong. It's
Yep.
a little softer, and I can feel it.
Yeah.
Groove flow.
This one you hit your fastest. They've just been overall about 1.5 miles faster.
Another drop.
It's okay.
Oof. That one I'm sure.
.265 carry. That's all you want for a 3-wood. You don't want it to go any further. You don't want it coming in spicier and rolling out any hotter. 158.2. Ball speed was up. Launch was good. 10 at 31 is fantastic. 39 descending angle great. A soft draw. 262 carry. I mean, compared to the road, yeah, you gained 8 yards of carry.
Okay, I think we got ourselves a winner. This Ventus shaft from Fuji is just bomb. My ball speed's like 8 miles an hour better. My carry distance is 8 yards longer, and my spin rate's up, so now I can hold those greens like Marshall said earlier. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this Epic Flash 3-wood plus 1 degree with the Ventus Fujikura 7S in it.
All right, guys, so we're gonna do my 3-wood fitting. You guys probably just saw Coach's, and I have the Rogue 3-wood, but the non-Sub-Zero model. So standard 15 degree with the Atmos Tour Spec 7X. And I absolutely love this setup. I've been hitting this club off the tee quite a bit actually, and has a really good penetrating ball flight. The only complaint I would probably have with this setup is that I don't get it super high. So I'm gonna be looking for maybe a little bit higher launch with this new setup. And if I can pick up a little carry distance, that's always welcome. So let's get into it.
It's all right. L's are actually R's and the R's are actually L's. So you got just a little bit of a cut, and we know that anytime we play a cut, we do increase our spin just a little bit. You do get a little bit of a launch going on at 14.5, 11, 7, and 13 degrees. So with that little higher launch and a little bit more spin, our descending angle does come in a little bit steep, and if we do play into the wind, it can be a challenge. But overall, I mean, I feel like you control it pretty well. Hit a couple more for me. Good.
Yeah, that was a good swing.
Good too. Yeah, you're at 37. These last two I thought you clipped pretty good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of movement to them. 77 and 320, that's a soft cut, but 37, 4,000, it's just causing that to come in steeper, and it's just coming in out of the air, and it's not riding its apex as long as it possibly can. So I feel like we're missing out on some carry and obviously some rollout.
So the head is Epic Flash Sub-Zero, 15 degrees, but he's got to turn down 1, so probably going to be playing a little bit less low.
Fraction of a miss, but you can there, you can just alone, you can see what happens when my spin rate gets to that playable range. Obviously 2100 was a little bit low, but on a miss hit, your carry was up by, quickly. I know that we forced that cut, and it's obviously spun a little bit more because we played a little bit more, but already, kind of like what I saw with Mike, is already they're jumping up a little bit higher, and I feel like we haven't even completely flushed one yet.
Right.
You're
right.
Spin rates are obviously a little bit high, and this one's a little bit higher than usual just because we did force that cut, but I like what I'm seeing from a ball speed factor.
Yeah.
That's another one I want. I like that though.
That was 263.
See, when it's at 3,300,
That's the number,
it
right?
just helps. It just our descending angle comes in better. It rides its apex a little bit longer. My overall carry goes up a little bit. I like our ball speeds. I mean, everything's 151, 150, well, basically 151, 150, 152. On a miss was 144, but I mean, and these three were on that first setting. I did change a setting there where I did reduce the loft just a little bit more, and so that's why we're seeing these at 36 and 3,300, which is, it's a much more playable range. And dead straight, soft draw. I love that.
Me, dude.
Okay.
What did I do?
With this shaft, you have an easier time of turning it over than the Atmos Black, and it's just because you are getting a little smoother feel. And that Atmos Black's a piece of rebar. Stiff handle, stiff mid, stiff tip. This Evo 5 is still a stable handle section, but due to those premium materials, it feels smooth. It does have a slightly softer tip section, which is allowing you to help turn it over just a little bit more, and that's going to help reduce your spin.
So that was the second longest of the day right there, it looked like.
He was 153, almost got up to 154 ball speed. He did turn it over just a fraction to the left, and that reduced his spin down to that 2,900 range. Let me get rid of that 1,900. Into their channel of local people that are in the area that want to assist with Fujikura.
T-shirt, hat. Your shot feels so good.
God, that looked good.
7X. Let me, let's just pause with the cause.
Boy's fired up right there.
151.3 ball speed, which is good. 11.8 launch, 2,800 spin. That is phenomenal. 40 left. I mean, and that actually is, that's a dead straight ball. 0's dead straight, 40's dead straight. Descending angle in a good zone. 254 carry, one of the longest carries of the day. We were averaging 231 with our gamer.
Yeah.
That's huge. Let's hit some more. I know you're excited.
I mean, this isn't a commercial for Ventus. This is just the facts that we're providing. But we do love that Ventus. Man, I like that ball flight.
So your miss hit is going 12 yards further carry than our old gamer. I know that's the cut you like.
Yeah.
I think that's the setting we're looking for.
But even right there, we played a little bit of a cut. I just want to check.
A little bit more spin.
No, but we're only at 3,200.
Oh, wow.
That's a game changer.
Dang.
We played a 175L, which is actually a cut for a lefty, and it's falling, 5 yards, left, and you're at 3,200. Remember, 27 to 32 is my number, and that's what we've hit with every single shot. Now, was it our cleanest contact? No, but you got away with it for something that was just a fraction off center.
That's some smoke.
Yeah, that looked perfect.
Good as I can hit it right there.
And I'm just going from what I heard.
Yeah.
I'm being picky, a fraction of a groove low, and that was our launch maybe. That was why it was low, but honestly, your ball speed was up really, really well. But 3,500, that's playable.
Yeah.
254 carry.
156 ball speed, 254 carry, 271 total.
So what's the difference between this shaft and the one that's in Mike's 3-wood?
So that's the MH that has a stiffer handle section
Okay.
to it, and I think for you, you like that sensation because you want to go after it hard.
Yeah.
And not worry about it, working to the right.
Right.
If I can stiffen up that profile a little bit, give you that overall sensation that it is a stiffer profile by about eight cycles, which is almost one flex in that handle. It's going to allow you to go after it hard. Last one we were down on it a little bit, which spun a little bit more, but you're averaging 3,200. You're 150. Let's just go off the averages. 150, but you were 145.2 on yours, and you're 150.8. 11.5 to 11.5. Spin rate was 3,600 to 3,200. You were hitting both of them pretty consistently. Obviously, the Atmos Black was definitely a little bit more left of the line versus this one was kind of closer to that center line. The sending angle was 40.9 to 40.4, and your carry was 231 to 247.
All right, guys, so this Ventus Proto MH is the clear winner. I picked up 16 yards on the carry with the combination of this Epic Flash head. So we did notice a pretty big jump up in ball speed for both Mike and I when we went to this head. So that's definitely a factor. But with this shaft, my dispersion was much better, which I really liked the Atmos Black shaft that I've been playing. But with this one, it seemed like it was much closer to the center line. The ball was getting up a little bit higher, coming in a little bit softer. It was just flying a little bit more. So I'm gonna pick up a considerable amount of carry distance. At least that's what we're seeing on the numbers. So super stoked on this fitting. It was awesome. Big thank you to Fujikura for having us out here again, and can't wait to get out on the golf course and put this baby to use.
All right, so we decided to come out to the golf course, test out these 3-woods that we were just bombing inside their facility. So this is going to be the first swing of the day. I think we should do maybe like a little longest 3-wood challenge right now. Okay. And Loser has to give away a shaft.
We're playing with the Fujikura guys, so Mike's trying to milk, another shaft out of you.
I'm good with that. Yeah. All right,
let's do it.
Let's go.
Well, we got Marshall here, dude.
Yeah, 3-wood.
I don't even have a 3-wood, so.
You can use mine.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Okay, so Marshall's going to use mine. If we win, we'll do a shaft giveaway. Thanks to Fujikura and these boys.
What per hour ball speed did you pick up with that thing today? What would you start with?
I think it was 145.
With what was the Rogue?
Which was the Rogue Atmos Blue.
Right.
7X. And then I think I'm at 155 or 153.
150 with the Rogue and 158 with the 150.
Okay.
Ventus.
So 8 miles an hour, 8 yards of carry, a little higher spin rate, but I'm going to be able to hold the par 5s hopefully a little better in 2. Mm-hmm.
So this is where the average folks hang out, and that's myself and Eric right there, and then we got Coach. Let me zoom it in. It's about 20 yards up, so he is right there. Definitely won a long drive, and shaft coming their way thanks to you.
Thanks to Fujikura for accepting that challenge, and yeah, Marshall just built me just the best 3-wood I've ever completely hit. The shaft, the head, Callaway, thank you guys, and couldn't have done it without you.
I got 106 left. I'm gonna just hit a little 56, and I'm gonna attack this flagstick.
Well, if that gets there, that's good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Boom. Oh, came up a little shy.
Sure.
Just. That was crispy.
Yeah, good shot.
Oh, yeah. Right on the front part. Good shot.
Tugged it a little bit. A little tug job. Nice bounce. All right, in the rough.
Do you guys have your Callaway 3-woods?
Yeah.
I don't have the my head because I let somebody borrow it, but I just need to cut it to length.
Marshall at work over here.
Always.